Hi, it's the last day of the month of June, June 30th. So I just thought that I would come here today and just tell you guys some of the stuff that I enjoyed in the month of June. So this is my June favorites and let's get into it. So we'll start with skincare products. Something I've really enjoyed this month is this, I guess it's a kind of like serum from Tropic. It is an oil actually, and I infused this with my moisturizer and I just really loved it. I've been using it longer than June, probably for almost a year, but I really liked it, especially during the quarantine, because I ran out of my Kiehl's Day serum, which is the one I normally use, and I decided to just not repurchase. I'm going to repurchase, but I just haven't yet. And so I've been instead, I went back to this product because I had it lying around and I started infusing it in my moisturizer, and yeah, it's been fun. Speaking of moisturizers, this is a new fave. It's actually the new, and it's almost all gone, so I have to restock, but it's the new moisturizer from The Ordinary. I don't think they ever had a moisturizer before now. It is the Natural Moisturizing Factors and HA moisturizer. But this time they released recently this product, and they have a charcoal mask now. And I bought both of those because I like the brand, so I decided to support it and just try it out. And I loved the combination of these two together. Amazing. I really enjoy skincare, but I realized that it's more efficient for me to have a smaller or a quicker morning routine when it comes to skincare. And so these are the only two things I use on my face. I have a serum that I put before these two, but it's just wash my face, put the serum, put these two, okay, and sunscreen. And the results on my skin have been great so far. I'm able to still have the skin that I had before when I was using 10 steps. So highly recommend. Even though this is not about recommending any products, it's just about me just telling you guys what I like. The last thing in skincare that I really like is this skincare tool that's all the rage on Instagram. I don't know what it's doing to my face, so I'm not even gonna say that it's gives you any benefits. But it's just nice, especially if you put it in the fridge and it's cool and you do that in the morning, it's so it's just a refreshing experience. We've been going through a lot, June was a lot, and I've been enjoying using it to, sculpt my face in the morning. But again, I don't know what it does. Okay, so I just asked Google, and of course, it's a face sculpting tool. So it's an ancient Chinese practice of sweeping or scraping to contour the face, the neck, and the body with a flat tool made of jade or bone. So yeah, let's get into TV shows and movies. This month, I really enjoyed The High Note, and if you're my friend, I probably already recommended this movie to you. I watched it actually in May, but I've seen it again a couple of times since then. It's just a really easy breezy film. I think I really liked it because I really enjoyed the Sam Cooke cover that was in it, but I just really liked the fact that it was a very simple film, very just calming, an easy storyline, you follow it through. It's only an hour and 54 minutes, so it's a good movie to just sit down and watch when you have time. Another thing I really enjoyed to watch, this one I actually watched this month, is called Crash Landing on You, which is on Netflix. It's a Korean drama, and it's so weird because I can't believe I'm seeing this, but I kind of bought into the hype, y'all. It is amazing, let me tell you. I sat down and finished it in one weekend, and honestly, if it was in English, I would probably watch it again. I just don't have time to sit down and read the subtitles because it's so good. Really, it's so good. I'm actually wearing these clips because one of the characters, Dan, she has the most amazing style, and she always had 2 clips in her hair. And I just loved, like, I love the fashion, I love the storyline. Like, the love story was just so pure and so like soothing. Like, it's so unlike Hollywood culture of showing love to be more so physical. I just love how they care about each other's well-being, they care about each other's health. I don't want to give anything away, but I highly recommend you watch it. It's on Netflix. It's only one season, so like the story is over, so like you don't have to come back multiple times to watch it. I also love the fact that like now everybody wants the two main characters to get together in real life, and there's this conspiracy going on about how they're actually dating. Yeah, I seriously can't believe how invested I got into the stories, but I promise you it's a good watch, so I totally recommend it as well. Okay, moving on to social media. I really enjoyed following the Slacktivist, especially this month, because I just love how clean and simple it is to follow the news. And they don't only talk about American specific news, it's also like global news, and they just put it in very, very like nice and presentable slides. It kind of reminds me of Vice, except Vice has like also non-newsy stuff. Because I'm trying to control my news consumption, it's really nice how like Slacktivist just summarizes it, and I can just get, you know, what I need to know in like under 15 minutes. Another page that I really like that I follow is Mirabel Center NG on Instagram as well. Especially with all the gender-based sexual violence going on in Nigeria right now, it's a nice resource just so you can follow what's going on and follow especially like with the activism and like what progress they're actually making with the movement. And I'm also in search of an Instagram page that has Nigerian news summarized, similar to Slacktivist. So if you know anything or if you know any of them that you recommend, comment below. So let's talk about the Bible and some of the favorite passages that I read this month. So I don't really follow a devotional or like some type of Bible plan. I kind of just go how the Spirit leads me or how I feel or the things that I really am curious to read. In the month of June, I got halfway through the book of Daniel. The majority of my study this month has been centered around the book of Daniel, and I found it a very interesting book reading it this time around, because I think I think everybody knows about the story of Daniel and the lion's den, and we know about the story of his friends Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego going into the furnace and like not burning. So we know those stories, but I think I haven't really like read them or studied them in a while, and especially like the other stories that are in the book of Daniel, because it's not just about those two events. And I really like enjoyed reading it again from this perspective, especially now that I'm older. One new thing that I learned about Daniel, the character Daniel, is that he not only did he interpret dreams, he also like had a lot of visions and had dreams himself. I like saw this angle of him where he was really someone who was hearing from God, and he was someone who was like interpreting also messages or giving messages from God. And I really liked the fact that he was just someone who was following God with a pure intention. And in Daniel 2 verse 20 to 23, I'm gonna read that for you. After Daniel interprets one of the dreams of King Nebuchadnezzar, he says, "Praise be to the name of God forever. Wisdom and power are his. He reveals deep and hidden things. He knows what lies in darkness, and light dwells in him." And if you read the book of Daniel, you come to understand that his character is one that really believes that God is the influence and the source of everything that he does and the reason for him existing. And it's just made me think about my life and think about the ways that I struggle and still struggle to release control to God. So I've really just enjoyed the book of Daniel. And I also really love the emphasis on the fact that God is all-knowing and knows hidden mysteries and secrets and all of that stuff. So it's really a really good book. If you haven't really read it in a long time and you only know the popular stories, like I think it's very interesting for you to read it and just be encouraged that your life and your ways are in his hands. And last, we're gonna talk about my favorite self-care practices from the month of June. The first thing that I've been really liking, surprisingly, is that I've been going outside more. I just sit down sometimes in my backyard or I take a walk, and it's one of the most underrated free things that you can actually do for your mental health. I recently did a video on my IGTV about a spirit walk that I went on. I walked to the lake by my house. It was beautiful. It was so amazing. And yeah, like it's been just a favorite thing for me to rediscover and just get into again. Another thing that I've been doing, but that's been more so consistently before even the month of June, is taking digital breaks. And I've talked about this on my Instagram before, but sometimes, like I said, especially with everything, you really should unplug from social media, from news, everything. And I've been enjoying doing that, especially with all of the stuff that's going on. There's like, the news cycle is so fast and we sensationalize everything. So just taking a break and taking a pause for even a couple of hours. I actually try to go every Tuesday without being on my phone at all, except I absolutely need to. I try to stay off social media and stay off of even the news. I've actually gone this whole month of June without listening to anything, haven't I? No, I think I listened to the news like in the first week of June, but I've been like off of the news for 3 weeks in terms of like listening and watching the news, but I've still obviously like kept in touch on social media with what's going on. And the last thing that I really enjoyed in this month of June is my journaling and self-reflection practice, which has slightly changed this month. I actually like to try different methods of journaling every once in a while, not because there's anything wrong with one type of journaling or the other, but sometimes I just get really bored, and I think like I'm not really a fan of routines being very rigid. I think I like a foundational structure to exist, but I like to leave room for adjustments. And so while I try to journal consistently, I also make space for it to look differently every once in a while. And so the new way that I've been journaling, which I really have enjoyed, is actually for me to link it to my Bible study. So when I wake up in the morning, one of the first things I do is study my Bible. If a verse sticks out to me, or if I just, I'm drawn to something because I like it, or if it makes me think, I write it down, and then I just do a quick reflection on why did that catch my attention? What am I curious about? Like, what is it about this verse that speaks to me? And it just opens up a different dialogue for me that's like very interesting, very new. And yeah, that's what my journaling and reflection time looks like these days. So we've come to the end of the video. I hope that I can get this out to you really quickly. I'm gonna try to edit it right now. Tell me in the comments some of your favorites from the month of June. But before I close this out, I'm gonna share with you one lesson that June has taught me. June has taught me that I am more capable than I gave myself credit for. I think that for a long time, I was just very, very reluctant to put myself out there. I actually doubted for a while that I had something relevant to say. And so it's been nice to realize that I've always been capable. I can do it. And that's been something that June has taught me. I think I'm gonna make this a regular thing. So see you next month at the end of July.